The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Welcome to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic.
Marko Mijuskovic is registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities LLC, 7 Hanover Square, New York, 10004, and at Wealth Strategy Partners, 677 Ala Moana Boulevard, Suite 720, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. This show is for informational purposes only. Individual risk tolerance and investment objectives must be reviewed prior to making any specific recommendations.
And now your host, Marko Mijuskovic.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, and I'm a senior partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also certified exit planner. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource every Wednesday night, exclusively 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hawaii Money Resource since 2011. We are picking the brain of the business owners, try to learn from their experience. So if you're listening to our show today, you're going to have a lot of fun. We have a special guest today. They're celebrating their anniversary, and they decided to share a little bit of their history with us. Hawaii Money Resource online, hawaiimoneyresource.com, hawaiimoneyresource.com. Best place for you to download the podcast, see the pictures of our guests, and much, much more. Hawaii Money Resource also is the place where you can stream live. In case you're in the office, you can stream live our show every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m., and you can as well subscribe for RSS feed, so you can see and be informed every time when the new podcast is up. You can get that notification. Don't forget, we do have another website, Business Exit Planning Hawaii, businessexitplanninghawaii.com. That is the website. Solely purpose of that website is preparation of businesses for their exit. So if you didn't check our website yet, make sure that you do that. We're also having the most important business workshop of the year coming up. For more information, location, time, date, and everything else, please go to businessexitplanninghawaii.com, businessexitplanninghawaii.com. If you have any questions, meanwhile, you can always reach us at 808-695-2102, 808-695-2102. So let's don't waste time because it's a pretty big deal. It's very impressive. Today we have owners of Kamaka Hawaii Inc. We have a Chris Kamaka in the studio, and also Fred Kamaka Jr. Fred is a business manager. Chris is production manager, and then there is also Casey. Casey is building instruments, so he's not available at this moment. But Fred and Chris, welcome to Hawaii Money Resource.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Why is this very important year for you guys? Because it is 100-year anniversary. Let me repeat that. 100-year anniversary. I mean, are you guys aware of this magnitude of the 100-year? I mean, are you or not? Or you just like, I don't know, maybe.
It's it's a little hard to fathom 100 years, but yeah, it's a pretty big deal. It's most family businesses never make it past the first generation.
Exactly. What is this? Third generation for you guys?
We're the third generation. We're the ones who are running it right now. Yes.
Wow. So you guys are at that point, and we're going to talk more about when is either break it or make it. I just need to say that because after the percentage goes way down after the third generation. But anyway, before we go into the little bit about you guys, why don't you tell me a little bit about 30 seconds just what is Kamaka Hawaii Inc.?
Well, Kamaka Hawaii is a family-run business started by my grandfather in 1916, and basically making of ukulele here in Hawaii.
Perfect. So we're going to talk more about it because it sounds like 100 years sounds like simple, but probably there is a lot of stories.
Oh yeah,
a lot of stories in these 100 years. So guys, let's talk about you a little bit. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Chris, why don't you start?
Okay. They call me the production manager. I'm basically, in charge of the flow of the, production. But I I went to school here in Hawaii, graduated from St. Louis and University of Hawaii. And my major was actually in liberal arts. I kind of combined my major to include business along with art design. And I hung around the music department quite a bit too. But I got into the company full-time starting back in 1972. And
never left since that
Never
time.
left since, yeah.
What about you, Fred?
Okay, I graduated from Kamehameha High School, and I went to college at Brown University. My degree is in mechanical engineering, and I came back to the company in 1988 to do some specific jobs.
Temporary work. Right?
Temporary work, and just ended up doing more and more, and pretty soon that was it. I was here.
So I understand you both have families.
Yes.
It's Christmas time is probably packed. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it? Like, what do you guys do in the free time when you're not in your production area?
Well, I guess now I'm kind of at the age where my wife and I try and spend a lot of time with our grandkids. I've got 3 grandchildren, and as much as we can, visit with the kids when we can. I enjoy playing music. I play with a Hawaiian band here in Honolulu, and just enjoy even getting Chris involved. My youngest son is involved with the music too, so it's interesting going to listen to them play too.
Nice. What about you, Fred?
Well, my official job right now is chauffeur.
From one school to another school to a third school.
Yeah, one is in college, but the other 3 are here, and they have enough activities to keep me busy from the time work finishes until I get home. So I don't have that many outside activities except for chauffeuring the kids.
Well, at least you're in tune with the traffic in Honolulu around 4 and 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So the question is, like, since you've both been in the business for a while already, now looking what you guys doing right now to balance your personal time and your business time, comparing to in the past, what will be the difference? How do you balance your personal time and your business time?
Well, I guess you have to try and give and take when you can. Try to find that balance, keep everybody happy.
Especially wife.
Yes.
Definitely wife.
Definitely. And, and of course, making sure that we get what we have done at the business end too.
How do you unplug? Like you come home and, I guess there is like so many stuff that you left in the office, and how do you unplug not to think about it? Or something goes wrong or whatever. I don't know.
I just go out in the yard and
gardening.
Yeah, garden. I've got a big yard that needs a lot of care, so usually I can stay out there all day and just leave the phone in the house.
So nobody can reach.
Yeah.
So you're running away from it. What about you, Fred?
Oh,
because
busy.
your title is everything but production.
Right.
Right.
That's basically. I think about it a lot. Even when I'm away, I have to think about business a lot. But the great thing is my relaxation is because my kids are in a lot of different activities. When I go, so say we go to a sporting event or something like that, that's nice time to just unwind and enjoy watching the kids do their activities.
Perfect. Do you guys do anything together? Or you see each other a lot at work, so kind of like...
Well, we do a lot of events together. Like we have the ukulele festival that we have here in Honolulu, or like if we're going away to various events, festivals, we're always doing stuff together there.
Yeah, a lot of work. Chris is actually pretty busy with his music group. He travels a lot, and So,
What kind of band is that?
It's a Hawaiian band.
So a lot of ukulele then.
Not really. Not with Ho'okana. There's only 2 guitars, and I play the bass, upright acoustic bass.
Yeah, he works on ukuleles all day long. So at night he plays the bass. So when he plays
the ukulele, right? Okay, perfect. So I appreciate you guys a little sharing about you and a little bit about your personal life. We're gonna take our first break. Once we come back from the break, you guys gonna take all of us down the memory lane and tell us pretty much what happened in the last 100 years since the business started. Today's guest is Fred Kamaka Jr. And Chris Kamaka. They're both from Kamaka Hawaii Inc., Kamaka Ukulele, probably better known than Kamaka Hawaii Inc., right? Kamaka Ukulele. So stay tuned. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic. Do not change the channel. We'll be right back. Is this your turn?
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Hi, Uncle Tom here for the National Kidney Foundation's Kidney Car Program. When you donate your car, you not only help fight kidney disease, but also help fund free statewide kidney screenings, medical research, kidney support groups, financial assistance for patients, and so much more. Learn more at kidneyhigh.org and help the thousands of local folks afflicted with chronic kidney disease. Turn your car into a kidney car and help fight kidney disease.
Did you know that 164,000 local people have chronic kidney disease, and due to lack of screening, may not even know it? Help the National Kidney Foundation as they work toward creating better awareness, prevention, and treatment for the 164,000 local folks dealing with CKD and the other 100,000 currently at risk. To make your donation of funding or possible kidney donation, please go to kidneyhi.org.
Are you thinking, how much is my business worth? Should I sell it? How can I prepare my business to minimize my tax burden? Can I avoid costly partnership disputes or transfer my business to my kids? The answer, yes. Come to the most important business workshop of the year. Meet personal and family financial needs with a team of experienced attorneys, CPA, business valuator, and certified exit planners in one room. Make your retirement more realistic and predictable. Tuesday, November 1st, starting at 7:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. at the Club, 1451 Queen Emma Street. Get all your questions answered. Limited seating, admission fee is only $25, tax deductible, and breakfast is included. That's Tuesday, November 1st, starting at 7:30 a.m. Located at the Club at 1451 Queen Emma Street. Go to businessexitplanninghawaii.com to register and purchase your tickets today. That's businessexitplanninghawaii.com. Remember, businessexitplanninghawaii.com.
Once upon a time, there was a business owner who worked hard and watched his company flourish. Then came the time to sell his company and retire in Palm Beach. But the path to his happily ever after was full of pitfalls and monstrous taxes. Whatever was he to do?
It's not a fairy tale, and the wrong strategy can deprive you of a storybook ending. I'm Marko Mijuskovic, and I know about business valuation. I'm also a specialist in business exit, asset protection, and estate planning. Visit my website, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, and I promise you'll find more than just a trail of breadcrumbs.
Businessexitplanninghawaii.com is an online resource designed to help you prepare for the final stage of your business's life cycle. At businessexitplanninghawaii.com, you'll have no trouble at all finding workshops, podcasts, videos, articles, and more. Your happily ever after is just a click away at businessexitplanninghawaii.com.
Achieving personal financial success can be complicated. Marko Mijuskovic can make it simpler. That's something very good to know in a world where the wrong financial decisions can be all too costly. Marko Mijuskovic, Vice President of Wealth Strategy Partners, has been helping people in Hawaii successfully organize and plan their finances for years. Marko uses an holistic approach to help you balance your current financial obligations as well as your future concerns. And he does this while keeping things simple. Organizing your finances is serious business, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Find out how Marko can help you make smart, informed decisions about your financial future. Call him and schedule your complimentary session and tell him your story. He's there to listen. The toll-free number to call is 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102. 877-695-2102. Marko Mijuskovic. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the Outer Islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner of Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource exclusively Wednesday night, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can also hear us on HawaiiMoneyResource.com, HawaiiMoneyResource.com. Wednesday night, if you are in your car, you can tune in at 7:60 a.m. KGU. If you're in front of a computer or you're on your phone. You can always stream live at HawaiiMoneyResource.com, HawaiiMoneyResource.com. Don't forget our website, the BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com, BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com. If you're a business owner, that is the website that you need to visit. And while you're there, you will see the most important business workshop of the year that's coming up. For more info, please go to BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com. Let's go back to our guest today, Kamaka Ukulele. I'm going to stop promoting Kamaka Hawaii Inc. because I guess that's official name, but Kamaka Ukulele is something that everybody knows. So we have Fred Kamaka Jr. and Chris Kamaka in the studio, and appreciate you guys coming, first of all. I know this is this is the time for you to kind of like bring it up because 100-year anniversary is what you guys celebrating this year, and it's not a small deal. This is a pretty big deal. 100 years, big deal. So let's talk about it. Like, please give me the little history. For people like myself, they have no clue about Kamaka Ukulele. Just take me down the memory lane and give me the story.
Okay. Well, my grandfather started the business. It started off, like we discussed earlier, like a hobby.
Hobby went wrong.
He enjoyed working on instruments. I guess he started out repairing and things like that, and then he started making ukulele. He actually was making ukuleles and guitars. He liked guitars, but at the time there was a big ukulele boom going on. And so there weren't
that was around 1916?
Right around 1916. And so not a lot of people were buying his guitars. So he had friends who were ukulele makers also, and they were selling a lot of ukuleles. So they told him, hey, you got to get into the ukulele side. And so
quit guitars.
Forget guitars, get into ukuleles. So he got into making ukuleles, and he loved making ukuleles. But one of the things he did was the original ukulele was very skinny. It was a lot smaller than it is now and didn't have a lot of sound. And because he had this guitar making side to him, he wanted to produce more sound from the instrument. And so sort of the instrument that made his name was he developed this oval shaped instrument that was bigger. And the neighbor saw it and said, hey, it looks like a pineapple. Let me paint it. And so it got the nickname the pineapple ukulele. So he made this ukulele, which was bigger than the current ukulele. The body was bigger, and it was easier for him to make because it didn't have the figure 8 shape. He didn't have to do those extra curves. And he started making this instrument. But this is where his business side came in, where there were a lot of craftsmen around, but he was a craftsman and a businessman. And Hawaii was just a territory at the time. And he sent someone to the mainland to get a patent on the design.
So imagine that. No phones. Maybe phones, I'm not sure. Telegraph. No emails. No fax. Nothing, right? So he need to physically
send someone.
Put someone on a ship.
Right.
And ship it to mainland.
Yep. To DC.
To do just a patent.
Right, just to get the patent. So they go over, they get the patent, and the original patent is 14 years. So for 14 years, no one else could make that instrument.
Okay, so how long it took after, how long was the trip? Like 3 months, 6 months, 4 months?
Actually, that's a good question.
The guy left and came back in like 1917.
Well, he actually on his labels, he had patent pending on a lot of them before he actually got the patent. So he had all these labels that said patent pending on a lot of the instruments that were made. And then when he finally got the patent in 1928, then he changed.
So nobody else has it in that time.
Right. So, but it sounded so much better that we actually have pictures of whole groups of people in the late 20s, early 30s, where they're all playing the pineapple ukulele. And so now his friends were in the boat where nobody was buying their ukuleles and everybody was buying his ukulele. So he told them, hey, you got to make the figure eight bigger. You got to make it match the sound of the pineapple. And so everybody started making the figure eight ukulele bigger. And so the size of the figure eight that you see today was a direct result of his pineapple ukulele that forced people to make the figure eight bigger to match the sound of the pineapple.
So he was a visionary. What actually Kamaka stands for, eyesight, vision, whatever you guys explained to me earlier. Yeah. And he was actually a pioneer.
Yes.
Of this industry.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So how did he run it? So what happened?
So, it was interesting. He had his business during the Depression. And that was actually around that time, 1928, 1930. And a lot of other makers dropped out at that time. So he survived that time. And at the same time, the ukulele is going through these ups and downs. So the ukulele is very popular in, the 1920s. And then it sort of falls out of favor for a while. And but he keeps at it. He keeps making ukuleles. And then the war years come about, World War II. And then the ukulele starts getting popular again because all these sailors and soldiers are coming through Hawaii. And they're all seeing ukuleles and they're taking ukuleles home. And so then in the 50s, there's this boom of playing the ukulele again, led by Arthur Godfrey. On the radio, he would teach people how to play the ukulele. And so there was another sort of,
So it's ups and downs, right?
Right.
So it's like cycles.
Right, cycles. And then, but then he, this is where he got cancer and he got sick and he actually passed away in 1953. Well, his sons were off. The two sons, Fred was a soldier and he was in Korea, fighting in Korea. And Sam was at Oregon State?
Yeah, Oregon State.
Oregon State. And he was studying to get his doctorate in entomology, which is the study of bugs, I guess. And he was going to become he was going to work for the forestry department. And so Sam Jr. had to make a decision. Am I going to come home and keep the family business going, or I'm going to finish my doctorate? And luckily for the company, that was sort of a big moment in our history when Sam made the decision to come home and keep the business going. Because if he hadn't done that, the business would have ended right there.
Was there before Sam Senior died, or after?
Right about
same time.
Yeah. He came back. So Sam Senior died in 1953, and from 1954 on, Sam Jr. was running the business. So then Sam Jr. ran the business, and then Fred was finishing his time with the military. And then Fred joined the business later in the 1970s. And then it was kind of interesting. They always say that, my grandfather had business, and he was a craftsman and a businessman. And then that Fred got the Chinese side, so he ran the business, and Sam got the Hawaiian side, so Sam was the craftsman. So
it's a good combo, Chinese and Hawaiian. Good.
So they did well, and then the ukulele kind of went through another phase where it went out of favor for a little while, And then I think with the Hawaiian Renaissance, the ukulele came back into favor again, and from that point on, it's only been uphill for the ukulele. So that's been something that we've benefited from, is that the popularity just from the 70s on, it's just been slowly increasing, and now it's really going.
Quick question, like in 100-year time span, like did anybody track any number of ukulele that was crafted by the company?
We have some numbers. My grandfather actually kept pretty good records. He wrote it all down in the books, but we have some of them got lost or destroyed in over time. But he was pretty good about keeping records. So we have records of, where he sold it to Laurel and Hardy, and he sold it, different names on the book.
So celebrity sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there is how many celebrity sales did you guys have?
Well, I mean, quite from that time, there's only a few that we've seen in the books. But
Scott Carpenter, was one of the astronaut. Yeah, was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny Tim.
How many ukulele you guys think that the company produced since 1916?
Oh,
good question, huh?
Very good question.
Imagine if we could track it.
Yeah.
Like 100,000 or whatever, a million or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was producing quite a number of ukuleles in his heyday, right?
Yeah, he was, and he did keep good records too. But
was there any setbacks or any challenges that you guys are aware of in your company history?
Well, there was definitely in the early 70s, again, when the ukulele wasn't real popular. So the company was trying to get back on track. And then we got hit with the recession in the 80s.
The 80s, I think, was the one that I really noticed.
And so I remember in the 80s, boxes and boxes of ukuleles sitting in the
nobody's buying.
Nobody's buying, so we're putting them in boxes. And my father and my uncle, they didn't want to stop. They didn't want to cut the employees' hours or anything like that, so they kept working.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just kept putting ukuleles in boxes.
Piling it.
And the one thing that kind of kept us going during that time was Japan. Every month or so, or the big order would come in from Japan, and that would kind of keep things going.
Keep the company afloat. Yeah. When this company really sounds like the Sam Kamaka Senior, the grandfather, was actually setting this up as a business from the day one. So how do you see in evolvement of this, and who was the person or more than one person in charge and making sure that this stays a family business?
I think he was such a well-rounded person. He was good with his hands, not only at crafting things, but he was a good farmer. He enjoyed just being outside and growing things. And I think to keep it in the family, I remember my dad saying that when our grandma was on her deathbed, that she actually pulled him to the side and told him to make sure he continued the family business. And that was when he was young, and I guess he always remembered that. And it was important to him. So, when the time came that, his dad was getting sick, that he came home right away after, working on his doctorate. He just left and came home to take care of him, and decided to continue the business. Going to the library, and he wasn't learning more about the craftsmanship and just kind of starting from scratch again, and whatever Grandpa had at the time.
So it sounds like the people were having a moral obligation to do it versus there was a written business plan that was structure behind it.
Yeah.
What do you will say that your family is key to keep all this together? What was the key? What is it about your family that that managed to successfully keep the business for 100 years versus letting it fold after the second generation?
For our generation, you mean?
No, just from your experience, like even now, like what is the key? Like what keeps it together?
It's the love of the instrument. It's the love of making the instrument, the love of hearing people play the instrument. That's a big part of it. It's, it actually, we have to be humble about it because, it's the people out there who kept us going all these years. It's the people who bought the instruments, the people who played the instruments, the people who passed them on to their kids. Mm-hmm. Without them, the company wouldn't have kept going. On our side, have a lot of kids. Hopefully one of them will take it over. But
expand the odds. If you have one child, it's slim pickings. But if you have a 4, one will go for it.
But
I see. Now the truth comes out. Appreciate it. Why don't we take our next break? Today's guests are Kamaka Ukulele, and we have Fred Kamaka and Chris Kamaka with us in the studio. By the way, Fred Kamaka Jr., because there is a senior as well. So why don't we take a break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. Stay tuned.
.760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Now, what's this? Hold it now. This is the milk. Whole milk in this carton. But wait, low fat and no fat. Low fat and no fat. Now, they're milk too, and yet their names rhyme. Whole milk, low fat, no fat. Wow, that's a lot of milk, huh?
This man may sound odd to you and me.
Oh, and look at this. Cheese. Now, cheese is made out of milk, huh?
But to his 3-year-old daughter who is helping to pick out food she likes, he makes perfect sense.
All different kinds of cheese. Honey, here's one. Oh, it has holes in it.
Learning starts long before school does, and children are naturally curious. They want to learn, so follow their lead. Take simple everyday moments like riding the bus, getting ready for work, or even shopping for groceries, and turn them into learning moments.
It's called Swiss.
Swiss has holes.
That's right. Hey, now, wait a minute. This one's called Gorgonzola. Can you say Gorgonzola?
Gorgonzola.
All right, we could work on that one.
Turn everyday moments into learning moments. Find out how at bornlearning.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Saving energy saves you money. Whether you switch to Energy Star light bulbs, install Energy Star appliances, or add extra insulation. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking, how much is my business worth? Should I sell it? How can I prepare my business to minimize my tax burden? Can I avoid costly partnership disputes or transfer my business to my kids? The answer, yes. Come to the most important business workshop of the year. Meet personal and family financial needs with a team of experienced attorneys, CPA, business valuator, and certified exit planners in one room. Make your retirement more realistic and predictable. Tuesday, November 1st, starting at 7:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. at the club, 1451 Queen Emma Street. Get all your questions answered. Limited seating, admission fee is only $25, tax deductible, and breakfast is included. That's Tuesday, November 1st, starting at 7:30 a.m. Located at the club at 1451 Queen Emma Street. Go to businessexitplanninghawaii.com to register and purchase your tickets today. That's businessexitplanninghawaii.com. Remember, businessexitplanninghawaii.com.
How would you like to work in the world of finance? Wealth Strategy Partners is considering smart, motivated financial associates. You will have the potential to earn competitive earnings while providing a necessary service to the community. Furthermore, when you join Wealth Strategy Partners, you will be eligible to receive a full benefits package, including insurance, a pension plan, and more. If you enjoy working with people and have an interest in making a difference in people's lives, contact Wealth Strategy Partners, 695-2102. That's 695-2102. Make the call that could change your life. 695-2102. Join Wealth Strategy Partners. 695-2102. Registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, abbreviated PAS, 7 Hanover Square, New York, 10004. Securities, products, or services and advisory services are offered through PAS, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor. 888-600-4667. PAS is a member of FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the Outer Islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner of Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource exclusively Wednesday night, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Today, we have a special guest in our studio. It's a special day. It's a special year for them. Kamaka Ukulele guys, owners with us in the studio celebrating 100-year anniversary. So just think about it. 1916. 2016, 100-year anniversary, pretty big a milestone for Kamaka Ukulele, and we get to share their story, and we try to pick their brain in 1 year. Imagine how much resources sits in our studio right now with all these 100 years of experience and multiple family members that were involved in this family-run and operated business. And just being successful to keep the business in a family for this number of years is a success on its own. Fred and Chris Kamaka in the studio today. So, guys, I appreciate first of sharing your story of going down the memory lane, like what happened, and sharing those interesting moments in the history of your company. But right now, let's talk about today. I mean, ukulele looks like, from our conversation earlier during the break, looks like that the most important part with ukulele is that demand is there, right? But now you're running a third-generation business, soon probably to transfer to the fourth generation, and it's very well-established business. In which point did you realize that this is established business, and now we need to making some, big business decision, like where we're going to take this business from and where we want to go? So where did you realize that? Is that something that happened recently, or you guys knew since 1995 or something like that, for example?
Well, I know when we got involved with the company, it was pretty well established back then, and it was kind of a challenge for us when we jumped in and said, "Oh wow, we better not screw up."
Pressure is on.
Pressure. Yeah, they always say, first generation founds the business, the second generation establishes it, and the third generation loses it.
Yeah.
so pressure was on. Yeah.
Good.
No, but it's been fun, really. I've enjoyed it quite a bit since being with the company, and it's important to me to maintain that the quality for one, and to maintain that consistent sound.
What was your the most challenging moment when you guys joined the firm?
Well, I came in I think it was 88, and back then we were having a lot of problems because the business was running fine, but we weren't making any more, and we were trying to figure out how can we make more. And we were seeing problems with, we need a bigger place, we need to get software, we need to get equipment, we need to get all these things, and
expansion.
Yeah, so we were looking at all that, and right around 2000, we actually went to a class on lean manufacturing, and we were still sort of doing 1950s batch manufacturing. And when I went to the class, the guy teaching the class said, if you look at your place, you'll realize you don't need more space. You don't need more people. You don't need this. He said, you just gotta you just gotta get lean. You gotta move from,
optimize it.
Yeah, you gotta move from each person doing 50 ukuleles to each person doing one and passing it on, right? And so that was sort of a big change for us when we switched over from the batch manufacturing to the lean manufacturing. That helped us a lot because our working process went way down, our productivity went up. Just all the benefits that they said would happen. Really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long it took for you to see the benefits?
Well, it was funny. We actually shut down for about 2 weeks because, when you have a company that's 50 years old, a new, or you're in the same location, for 50 years, a new piece of equipment comes in, you don't think about where it should go. You go, where do we have space for it? And you put it in, and then pretty soon you got ukuleles starting in one corner, then they got to go to the next corner.
So it's not optimized.
Yeah, it's not optimized at all. So after we all did the lean manufacturing class, we decided, okay, we got to set up a nice smooth assembly line here. We actually had to shut down for 2 weeks.
Clean up.
Yeah, for 2 weeks we shut down.
To clean up first.
Oh, we were calling for a dumpster every other day, a dumpster pickup, because we were finding under the stairs, we were finding old tires, truck tires, and it took a long time to clear everything.
Is that the same place where you guys located right now?
Yes.
By the way, I didn't advertise it, and it says kamakahawaii.com website and also phone number 531-3165. If they want to buy someone is like crazy about ukuleles, they said, oh, this is the company I was looking for. What website is the best bet?
Actually, we don't sell the ukuleles like on a store on the website. So if you want an ukulele,
so you need to go through the retailer or through you guys.
Right. Yeah. So we're really a wholesaler to the music stores, but some people want to buy directly, and if they want to buy directly, they usually do it by phone or email or something.
Do you see that maybe that is the way to go going forward? Start selling direct.
Direct to the public through. That's always come up. Do you want to do it sell direct? But one benefit of using the music stores is people can walk in and speak to someone who's knowledgeable about instruments and get the information they need. And also, when there's sort of a recession in one area of the world, you've got these people in the other end of the world who keep it going. And so for us, that's sort of the business model that we like. Although, people always say, well, why don't you just sell them all yourself? Cut out the middleman. That does come up.
It probably happens as well, right? In some instances. And from our conversation earlier, I understand that your ukulele is like, it's not a one ukulele and you're always making the same thing. It's like everything else, different lines, different products, right? Ukulele is just a base, but you have a different product. So let's talk about how many lines you guys have.
Well, we have 4 basic sizes. You have your soprano, your alto, tenor, and baritone. So those are the 4 basic sizes that we have. But we have variations off of each, a little longer scale on most of them. Yeah, all of them. I think longer scale. And we've got 6-string and 8-string tenors and baritones, and then you've got your specials with slotted on, all your add-ons, like your little more decorative type of.
How do you figuring out like what you need, like which ukulele will sell and who is buying which one, right? How do you boil down to like, okay, for this ukulele this is the demand, for that ukulele this is the demand, and then you said, okay, should I continue making them all, or should I narrow down to like 4 models?
Well, we pretty much let the market decide that. There was a big change when we were doing the batch manufacturing. We actually had a set number of ukuleles each store could. If you're going to order, you can only order this much of this one, this much of this one, this much of this.
Because the batch production was Monday then.
Right, and we only produced so many. So when we changed to lean manufacturing, all of a sudden the stores could order what they wanted.
Yeah.
And it changed what we had to make, because all of a sudden those stores were ordering less of the small ones, more of the big ones. And part of that was because, the Chinese influence in the market, so many small, inexpensive ukuleles. So where people were buying ours, they were moving more towards the moving up ukulele. You know, after they'd bought their initial cheap ukulele, now they wanted a better ukulele. And so the shift, there was a big shift from the small ukuleles to the bigger ukuleles in what the stores were ordering.
So that's a great point what you're just saying. So earlier my question was why you're selling direct versus through the retailers. I guess that's can be another reason, because they are getting what the market wants.
Yes.
And you getting that information from them.
There.
Because they're out there, right? Yeah. What do you guys do for your marketing? Like, how do you get your name out? Is it strictly through your distribution channels, through your retailers, or are you guys doing anything on top of it?
Oh, we have social media, I guess, just kind of implemented.
Well, we, in general, we don't do a lot of advertising ourselves because our music stores do it. And one of the reasons is because we're very lucky. Mm-hmm. We're very lucky that our name is known. So we get a lot of free media in that, you know, travel magazines, all these people come to us and they want to do stories and take pictures. So we're very lucky that way.
It's not lucky. It's 100 years of existence, right? So it didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight.
Right.
And so we benefit by that. But we can't sit on our laurels. And so that's why now we're getting a little bit more into the social media and, you know, updating our website and, you know, Instagram, Twitter, those kind of things. So you're catching
up with the overall market trends when it comes to the marketing.
Right.
You mentioned that you have quite a few people working in your firm, and right now it's probably fine-tuned machine and everybody knows what they can do. What is the biggest challenge that you're facing currently? Right now, established business, 100 years, you know, pressure is still on, third generation still around. What is your main challenge? What is your biggest challenge?
Maybe for me in my area would be cross training. You know, our employees, make sure that, you know, we have coverage in certain areas of the production. Making sure we get things that we need when we need them, and just to be on top of things and it's probably and especially maybe with our main go-to material, which would be our core wood, you know, and
making sure they have enough supply.
Make sure we have enough supply.
Yeah, the 100th year this year offered a number of challenges because we had a special logo and we had, you know, all the it was a special logo on the cases, special logo on the ukulele.
Anniversary edition.
It was the anniversary edition, and so all those pieces sort of had to fall into place. But
nice, but that also gives you opportunity to sell it for more because it's like Porsche, you know, anniversary edition usually costs like 30-40% more.
Yeah, but again, with what Chris was saying about the biggest challenge for us, it's always going to be labor because the people who make the instrument are so important, and finding good employees is
a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess you can probably join the line with everybody, all the other businesses that have a similar issues, right? Even though
common issue.
You could, I mean, it's something you cannot really figure out in 100 years as well. Okay, let's take our last break for today. We have a Kamaka Ukulele with us today in the studio, Fred Kamaka Jr. and Chris Kamaka. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
.760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
I'm Ken Griffey Sr.
And I'm Ken Griffey Jr. And we're proud to be men who speak up about advanced prostate cancer.
Prostate cancer runs in our family. I never had a problem talking about it until I was diagnosed. Aches, fatigue, or difficulty doing normal activities can mean that prostate cancer is advancing. Don't stay silent.
Step up to the plate and visit menwhospeakup.com to learn more.
This was a public service announcement from Zero, the end of prostate cancer.
Are you thinking, how much is my business worth? Should I sell it? How can I prepare my business to minimize my tax burden? Can I avoid costly partnership disputes or transfer my business to my kids? The answer, yes. Come to the most important business workshop of the year. Meet personal and family financial needs with a team of experienced attorneys, CPA, business valuator, and certified exit planners in one room. Make your retirement more realistic and predictable. Tuesday, November 1st, starting at 7:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. at the club, 1451 Queen Emma Street. Get all your questions answered. Limited seating, admission fee is only $25, tax deductible, and breakfast is included. That's Tuesday, November 1st, starting at 7:30 a.m. Located at the club at 1451 Queen Emma Street. Go to businessexitplanninghawaii.com to register and purchase your tickets today. That's businessexitplanninghawaii.com. Remember, businessexitplanninghawaii.com.
You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the Outer Islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner of Wealth Strategy Partners. Don't forget, a big event is coming up. Please go to businessexitplanninghawaii.com to see and look and learn about the details. Most important event of the year for the business owners. If you're a business owner, please check us online, businessexitplanninghawaii.com. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. Today's guests are Fred Kamaka and Chris Kamaka from Kamaka Ukulele. And why is this so special? First of all, they're in the studio. Second, it's a 100-year anniversary for this Hawaiian-owned family business. Not so many businesses in Hawaii can say that. There is some, but we have one in the studio with us today. Fred and Chris, 3 questions for the end of the show. We have 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left. No pressure, okay? First question is, what is the future? Where is Kamaka Ukulele going for another 100 years? Or maybe next few years?
Well, that's an easy question. You take it.
Chris is going to take it.
Well, fortunately for me, my sons seem to be very interested in continuing, and hopefully, if God willing, it'll continue.
Yeah, we definitely have some hard, decisions to make as far as, how we're going to move forward. Do we try and make a lot more ukuleles, or do we, stick with a certain number of ukuleles and just make them the best we can? There's definitely.
And just for our audience, because people probably don't have a clue how many ukuleles you physically can make, what is the number?
We produce somewhere around 3,500, between 3,000 and 4,000 ukuleles a year.
So it's not like what some people think mass production, like we have like 150 people in a room and they might do it there in China, and it's like, do we have knockoffs? Do people produce ukuleles in China?
Oh, yeah. If you go to a music store here in Hawaii, 80% at least of what's on the wall is made in China, even if it has Hawaiian names. But the one good thing is, those inexpensive ukuleles have brought a lot more people into the ukulele playing community.
They made it affordable, and then people, what you mentioned earlier, they buy this cheap one, and then once they learn to play, they want a more expensive one.
Right.
Exactly.
Second question, because we're running out of time, is what is your exit strategy? I know Chris is your kids. What about you, Fred?
I don't have one yet.
And then what is your joint exit strategy?
That's something we still got to work on.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Last question. So we have like 30 seconds. If someone is starting the business right now, from your point of view, from your experience and your family business experience, what kind of word of wisdom you will give them?
I would say just to enjoy what you're doing. If you really love what you're doing, you'll stay true to it and just continue and make it the best you can.
What about you, Fred?
I agree. Whatever you decide to do, you want to do it the best you can. and don't cut corners. Like my dad always said, if you're going to use the family name, don't make junk.
There you go. I like that. If you want to use the family name, don't make junk. He's going to make a family name junk. Okay, perfect. Fred Kamaka Jr. and Chris Kamaka, thank you so much for being guests in Hawaii. And happy 100-year anniversary.
Thanks a lot.
Perfect. You were listening Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic. Today's guest, Kamaka Ukulele. You can listen to the podcast shortly, right after our show. We're going to be uploading up into Sky. If anything else, please visit businessexitplanninghawaii.com for our big event that's coming up. More details on the website. Other than that, stay tuned.
The Living Balance Sheet and the Living Balance Sheet logo are registered service marks of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, New York, New York. The graphics and text used herein are the exclusive property of Guardian and protected under U.S. and international copyright laws. Copyright 2005 to 2011. The Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. This show is for informational purposes only. Individual risk tolerance and investment objectives must be reviewed prior to making any specific recommendations. Marko Mijuskovic is a registered representative and financial advisor for Park Avenue Securities, LLC, 7 Hanover Square, New York, New York, 10004. Securities products, services, and advisory services are offered through Park Avenue Securities, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor. 888-600-4667. Financial representative, the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, New York, New York. Park Avenue Securities is an indirect, wholly owned subsidiary of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. Wealth Strategy Partners is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Park Avenue Securities or the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. Park Avenue Securities is a member FINRA SIPC.